Hey guys, so I just want to have a really quick discussion and chat with you about a meeting we had today with a client that next month is our 5-year working anniversary. Yay. It's always a pleasure working with clients long term, and it really shows and demonstrates the value of our service and the loyalty that our clients show to us in return. So we are greatly appreciative of that. One of the key points in the discussion was what I normally and often refer to as a content revolution. So deep diving into the amount of content that you need to create on a consistent basis, the amount of content we need to create, how we create it, where we create it, and how we distribute it. So we have a strategy in place for the blog. We have a strategy in place for YouTube. We have a strategy in place for our audio distribution on various platforms like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify, as well as our sort of Facebook, and Instagram, and LinkedIn content strategy, which, even though it falls under the social media banner, it's still a little bit different, and same with Twitter and things like that. So developing a overriding content strategy for these different platforms is why is so important. And if you don't have a similar strategy in place for your business, you are really leaving a lot of potential on the table. And content marketing is already a long-term strategy, and the less time you take to implement it, the longer it just means that you are pushing back. So I would encourage everybody to put and to plan for 2021 a diverse, a rich content marketing strategy for your business in 2021. Some of the ideas that I like to do is to build YouTube content in the way that if the local news channel said your company gets a free 8 o'clock slot once a week on Wednesdays, you will find, if that happened to you, you will find a strategy for them. You would have content ready, because you know the audience and the opportunity is really vast. And it's the same on YouTube. It's just knowing how to reach them becomes a bit more tricky. But having a strategy for YouTube that is a little bit more long tail in its approach, so you might want to show how you do something. You might want to explain features of a product or service. You really want to get in touch with people that are your target market and potentially interviewing them. It really depends upon the industry you're in, but I like YouTube to be a little bit more in depth, a little bit more detailed, a little bit more long tail, and then embedding that relevant video content into written content that is generated based upon SEO searches. So it might be, how do I paint my house? And then you've got a 1,000-word article on how to do that, and the video demonstrates what you mentioned in the video, and you bed them in together. That's going to do a lot to maximize not just your social media and your presence on YouTube, but it's also going to help and improve your clicks and visibility overall on Google. And embedding images and video into a blog article is highly recommended. Now, the content you then develop the strategy you develop for Facebook, perhaps Instagram, shouldn't be too vastly different, just for your own resource sake. You can be a little bit more lighthearted. You can have a bit more of a joking around, a bit more presence where, you've only on Instagram, you've only got like a minute clip. So you might want to obviously intro into something more depth, like maybe you're doing a demonstration and you want to just show a minute of it, and then provide links and resources into more information. You might want to, on Facebook, you might want to, the blog content we just talked about, you might want to have a Facebook ad strategy where you're sending, relevant qualified traffic to the articles to engage with that piece of content. Facebook organic is more or less dead. So everything you do on Facebook to generate your followers, to increase your followers and likes on Facebook, probably has to be built upon a paid campaign of some sort. So how do you build trust and credibility through that for your brand? But with Facebook, be a little bit lighthearted. It doesn't have to be as serious necessarily as a LinkedIn strategy. And obviously Instagram is very photo friendly, so you try to incorporate plenty of images, maybe quotes, and demonstrations. But look, we all want the documentary, not the ad. So the more explanatory, the more personal you can show. Look, you're dealing with people. So Facebook and Instagram really gives you an opportunity, as well as YouTube, but all mediums really do in certain ways. But in particular, Facebook and Instagram really gives an opportunity for the brands to be personable and to create a sort of lighthearted, natural businesses people, and connecting with them on a more lighthearted approach would be one way to connect in that way. Twitter, conversation, and following, commenting on all the, and this works also on Instagram, but in particular with Twitter, focus on the content, on engaging with existing content, focus on finding out who are the major players and authority thought leaders in your space. Look for hashtags around what your key services are. Talk with people. Think of Twitter as one giant networking game, and you just walked into a digital room, and you have the opportunity and availability to talk with people and basically enter into existing conversations. So offering meaningful, thought-provoking, value-adding comments and suggestions will increase your business profile on Twitter. LinkedIn, if you're I think every business should be on LinkedIn, but if you're a B2B, you need to be living on B2B. If your target market is corporate, if your target market is business to business, if your target market is anything where you want to connect with certain job titles, you need to be on LinkedIn, creating and posting blog comment and videos that are directly uploaded and unique to LinkedIn. To LinkedIn. That would be something that I would highly encourage. LinkedIn is massively underutilized. The organic power, which means I don't necessarily think you need to run ads if you've got that budget restriction, because the organic on LinkedIn is way better than I find any other platform, on any other social platform. I mean, I would say the organic reach on LinkedIn is better than even YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I just think that it's massive. Like, I post up one thing, you get about 10, 12 likes, bang, you've reached like 1,500 people, 2,000 people, 20 comments. I mean, it's hard to get a video on YouTube in a B2B context of 1,500 views. I mean, like in 2 days. I mean, unless you've got massive following already, it's hard to do. On LinkedIn, you could post you're one post away from substantially improving and increasing your reach. And also, there's a strategy on LinkedIn for your personal brand as well as your business brand. So that's something to be mindful of as well. Guys, hopefully that's helped you. It's getting pretty dark out here. So I just want to be able to leave you with that. And hopefully it really helps to broaden your perspective, give you some ideas on how to sort of create and distribute content. And if you have any questions, whatever that may be regarding this whole content revolution that I just described, and specific ideas and strategies that you want, then please reach out to me personally on andrew@amigadigital.com.au. Visit our website, amigadigital.com.au. And if this is being distributed where there's comments available, please do leave us a comment below. And I appreciate that very much. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a wonderful day.